What is up, everybody? This is the Wild Nutrition Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Heskett, and this is episode 34. We have another Unapologetic Friday today. So if this is your first time, what happens is I set a timer for 15 minutes, and I tried to stick to that. However, I usually fail. Usually I go in thinking I'm going to be super quick on the topic and usually go way over time. There's also going to be generally lots of cursing here. So if you are listening in the car and there's kids, just giving you a heads up now, turn it off and listen to one of the other episodes. That's not an Unapologetic Friday. That being said, we're setting the timer and let's get into this today's episode, which is randomness is destroying your results. Lack of consistency is the problem you're having when you're trying to create predictable results day in, day out, week in, week out. So I get it. Shiny object syndrome. You program hop. You think this is the best thing. Then you see something on CNN and it's new study comes out. This is better. You should go low carb. And then it's something else you read online and it's like carnivore. And then it's like vegan. And then it's keto or Optavia, or you should be doing HIIT 5 times a week. So what the fuck should you be doing? What should you do consistently? Because if you're just program hopping, or you always fall back to the same fucking shit, like my thing is Weight Watchers, because that's generally the crowd I work with, is that you've done Weight Watchers in the past, and when you don't know what to do, you just fall back to the same fucking thing that hasn't worked time and time again. Again, if it worked, I've said this in another podcast, if it actually works, you probably wouldn't be listening to this podcast. If it actually worked, you wouldn't be going back to it all the time. It doesn't work. Yes, you get the weight off. Cool, that's half the equation. How do you keep it off? If you're not addressing that half the equation, it doesn't work. So, if we're just program hopping, we're going like, okay, it's 3 weeks here, or 2 months here, or 12 weeks here, or this here. We're just going and you're just randomly doing shit. You're never building consistency. You're never giving it long enough to actually form habits, to actually create a lifestyle. You're not giving it enough time, because we always want fast. Like ideally, I would love to come up with some system that created habits and got people to lose weight in 30 days. Like that would be awesome. Like we can have a lifestyle integration and lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Cool. I'd be a millionaire or multi-millionaire, I should say, if I came up with that. The problem is that's unrealistic. That is not how the body works. It's not how our brains work. Everything needs time. We need to have consistency. Consistency creates predictable results. You can predict moving forward the results you can actually get. Results are going to then keep you motivated. If those predictions are right, boom, great. Next month, I just got to keep doing the same shit. Next week, I just got to keep doing the same shit. And I will continue seeing the results I want. Is it as fast as I want? Probably not. But I am moving forward. And that helps you stay consistent. And when we're consistent for a long time, then that becomes habit and it integrates into our lifestyle. And that's what a true habit is. A true habit is basically an automation. Like if you think of like automatic things that happen in your life that you might have, it is a automation. You don't have to think about it. It just becomes part of you. So a lot of times people think like habits are like forcing yourself to go work out. No, that once you have a habit of working out, it's not something you think about. Like I don't think about working out. It's when do I fit my workouts into the week? It's not, am I going to work out this week? It's when am I working out this week? How am I going to make it work with my schedule? Not, can I make it? No, when and how. Big difference there. So what is actually a realistic timeline? So you start a program. How long should you give it to actually see predictable results? So if we're talking about results in the gym, minimum Minimum should be 12 weeks of basically the same shit over and over and over again. This isn't hopping from one random workout or you walk in the gym and do 20 reps here and I'm going to do 10 reps of this because I feel like, no. Same program, week in, week out, trying to do more reps or more weight or both every single week for 12 weeks. And before you can say it doesn't work for me, you have to give it 12 weeks. That's about 90 days, 3 months. You need to give something 3 months before you can say it doesn't work. If you give it 4 weeks and say, oh, this program doesn't work. No, you didn't do it. Like that, it's just that simple. Like, no, that you didn't do it long enough. And is it a long time? Yeah, it is a long time, which is why sometimes you don't want to necessarily go through like the trial and error, try and figure out this yourself. You probably want to, instead of giving 3 months of maybe this will work, maybe you want to hire a professional to be like, hey, this program actually works. You just have to follow it for the 90 days. I remember back in the day, I did a program by Jim Wendler called 531. Fantastic program, still a great program to this day. It's one of when I don't know what to do, I like to sometimes go back to it. I prefer some other coaches' style programs now, but it created amazing results. However, when you start the program, it's before you can say it does or doesn't work, you need to give it 90 days because after 90 days, that's where you're actually going to see results. Before that, we're just building a base. And then it's like from 90 days on, you're just creating awesome results. So it's, can you give it time in the short term? Like maybe you don't see anything amazing for the next year, like 12 weeks. There's 52 weeks in the year. So 12 of those weeks, you might not be seeing much. And then all of a sudden it's like the rest of the weeks of the year. What is that, like 30 something? You're going to 40 weeks, yeah. So 40 weeks out of the year, you're going to see amazing results. You just have to give it the first 12. How do I know my program's going to work? Well, that's where you get a professional to help you with it. Because we've studied, here's how if you think like what I do as a coach is just I put random exercises together. No, this is how the human body adapts to stress. So exercise is a stress. We put the body into a state where it needs to adapt. So we create a program where you are going to create consistent results. You have enough recovery time that you go through process body. When you work out in the gym, you actually walk out of that gym weaker. You break down, simplified terms, you break down some muscle tissue. You actually walk out weaker. You recover and your body does what's called supercompensation, where doesn't go back to baseline, it becomes stronger. Anyone who's started the gym and has gotten stronger over a couple weeks has realized this. So, okay, great. But there's a timeline. Like if you go too early or you do too much, that takes longer. Like the recovery process is longer. So if you go back in the gym, you're not going to see that. Or if you wait too long, like you do one workout and then you wait till next week to do another workout, like you're kind of back at baseline. Sorry. Like technically, no, you're like a little bit above if you're a beginner. Like it's great for maintaining, but you're kind of back at baseline. So that's why you can't do like one workout a week and just be like, oh, I'm going to get in shit. No, it needs to be more frequent than that. Twice a week is the minimum you want to be doing. So that's why we put this together. Like we actually study this for years and years and years to put that shit together for you. So yeah, 12 weeks is what you want to do. Does that mean you have to have a 101 coach coaching you through everything or a personal trainer? No, you can hire someone to actually just write you a program or give you a template to follow and do that. Templates, you kind of have to figure things out on your own. So there is still some of that unknown factor, but writing a program, different story. Anyways, what about body transformation? How long should I stick with a program to see body transformation? And that's going to be about 26 weeks for most people to actually like transform your body, to go from kind of where you're at now to where you kind of want to get to. It's going to be about 26 weeks. That's 6 months, half a year. Half a year it's going to take you to get there. Is it a long time? Sure. But it's only half a year, like in 6 months from now. I'm recording this in March. So this is coming out March 24th. March 24th comes out, September 24th, you could have your body of your dreams or close to it. Or at least, like, if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, you'd be about halfway there, like in September. I don't know about you, but the first 3 months of this year have already gone by fast. That's going to fly by. You could start now, and in 6 months, you could be where you want to be. You just have to commit now, and you can't have an end date. You can kind of like check back in 26 weeks. That's where you get a break. It's 26 weeks from now. You just have to do it now. And that's the problem. People want it in like 4 weeks. It takes 26. If you want lifestyle integration, you're talking 52 to 104 weeks. This shit's not going to become easy until you do it for like a year or two. If you're listening like, oh, I just want to be a healthy person. Yes. Now, this isn't like a light switch. And I want everyone to be a healthy person. But you have to realize that you've had decades of bad habits, decades of negative self-talk, decades of just shitty nutrition and fitness information from the shittiest sources on the internet who get the most attention. So you have all this like stuff to unravel first. Then we have to create new habits. So that's when we're talking lifestyle integration. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not a light switch. It's not like you're going to go from like today's day one, and then 52 weeks from now, all of a sudden it's like magic. No, it's kind of, there's a continuum. Like you're going to go along. It's going to become easier and easier along the way. But when we're talking like, again, true habits where it's basically automated, you don't have to think about it. You're talking 1 to 2 years. 1 to 2 years. But again, like I said, with the body transformation at minimum of 6 months, we're talking, you do it now. Next March, you're listening to this podcast and you never have to worry about your weight again. You never have to feel self-conscious in your clothes again. You never have to worry if you could get up and down off the ground to play with your kids or your grandkids again. If you started today and you stuck with it for the next year, that's the difference. It's not going to happen in 4 weeks. It's not going to happen in 2 months or 3 months. It's going to take 1 to 2 years. But in the 1 to 2 years, there's going to be so many wins. And that's why we like to focus on non-scale victories. You're going to have more energy. Your sex life is going to be better. Your confidence is going to be better. Your mental clarity is going to be better. Your sleep's going to be better. You're going to be able to do more things. Life itself becomes easier. And people don't realize this. When you start down the path of getting healthy, of improving your fitness, improving your health, eating well, life becomes easier. Everyone's stressed out. I'm stressed out. Everyone's stressed out. But we can train our body to better handle stress through exercise. If we supply the body with the right nutrients and the right foods, it functions better. So you could start, and in a year from now, your life would be totally different for the better. Everything would just be easier. Everything would be better. I'm not saying you're going to be shitting rainbows or what is it? We'll say shitting rainbows. It's not going to be that. You're not going to be riding around in a unicorn. But going up and down stairs is no longer going to tire you out. So it starts with being consistent. It starts with, okay, realistic timeline. Like I would love to tell you that we could do this super quick. Unfortunately, the only way to do that is with some nasty drugs that will have a lot of side effects. But we could do this really quick, or we can have a realistic timeline where we don't have to do any of these drugs. I just looked up one. Someone was on my timeline. There's the timer. I saw on my timeline bragging about zero exercise. I lost all this weight, no exercise, no dieting. Awesome. I looked up this drug. It's not approved yet. It's on the fast track, but it's not approved for weight loss by the FDA, and it increases your risk for thyroid tumors. And this is what she's bragging about. She's like, oh my God, it works. I'm down. And like, yes, I see the appeal. I see that you actually lost weight. However, it literally increases your risk for developing tumors, which could become cancerous on your fucking thyroid. Like, your risk for potentially getting cancer has increased because you've taken this drug and you didn't address anything else. So remember that these drugs aren't actually addressing the root issue of your diet fucking sucks and you're not exercising. And sorry if that's hurtful, but welcome to Unapologetic Friday. If you're just eating shit and you're taking one of these weight loss drugs, your risk of cancer with some of these increases because you're not eating any foods that decrease your risk of cancer, which are like fruits and veggies. Like, if you're just eating Twinkies, Oreos, and going out for fast food, like, okay, like, yeah, your body's going to break down. You're going to be miserable. Congratulations, you lost weight. Congratulations. But how are you going to keep that off without taking that drug? You're going to take that drug for the rest of your life because I gave you one of the side effects. There's a whole list of other things. And this is not Ozempic, but that one I believe you get some muscle wasting and bone and connective tissue wasting with it. Like, okay, we already deal with an issue of women needing to protect against osteoporosis, and that's an issue. With joint, like your tendons and ligaments get weaker. What? We're just asking for an injury. We're asking to have you like trip on the sidewalk and just like that just shatters. Like your ankle just shatters there. Like it just falls apart. Like, okay. Are these drugs effective for certain populations? Yes, there are some people who do need them. Not everybody. I see where doctors come from. They're there to address patients, and they've seen this patient for 2 decades and nothing, and the patients haven't gone anywhere, and they haven't lost weight. They need to lose weight, and they're just tired of having this conversation. It's like, hey, take this drug. Well, if you're listening and you're that patient, you need more consistency. Have you done the diets 100%? I'm not talking like MLM diet. I'm talking actually like a real eating diet of whole foods, not just packaged bullshit. We can have pasta nights, but are you eating a diet of meats, fruits, veggies, like not super processed stuff? Like just do that. And then we actually figure out what a portion is. Like, have you taken the time to figure out what a real portion size is? This is why Italians can eat so much pasta. They don't eat so much pasta. American pasta size is like you eat the entire pound, whereas Italians are like, here's an actual portion. And then people like will comment like, I'm not going to do that. Well, then you're going to be fat forever. Like, sorry, like your choice is actually learn how to portion and what a real portion is. And then I'm actually eating 2 or 3 portions. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or I'll have to make up for that the rest of the day. Or you're just going to be like, well, I will be hungry. Well, then you'll be fat forever. Like you're going to be fat and unhealthy forever. Like that's your choice here. Like learn what it is, because again, there's so much unlearning you need to do because you've spent decades with the wrong information. There's so much shitty information out there, including the USDA. Like, don't even get me started on what the government teaches in school. It's absolute dog shit nutrition information. Nobody successfully loses weight with that. It's awful. So, bringing it back, realistic timeline. Minimum is going to be 12 weeks to see results in the gym. Body transformation is going to be 26 weeks. 26 weeks. If you're like, I don't have that much weight to lose. Well, if you don't like to have 10 pounds to lose and you want to get tone, what's on the opposite of tone? Building some muscle, 26 weeks. So maybe it takes you 2 months, but you need to spend 4 months building muscle. Okay. 26 weeks. Lifestyle integration, 52 weeks to 2 years. 52 weeks to 2 years for lifestyle integration. Once you realize what the realistic timeline is, then you can actually create a plan, actually create sustainable results because you know what's actually realistic. And then you can get after it. Because if your goal is to transform your body, when you're listening to this, if you listen when this comes out, it's March, end of September, your dream body could, if it's not there yet, it's going to be pretty close. September of this year. You just got to start like now. And if you don't know where to start, email me, message me, go on my social media. I'm on Facebook, Chris Heskett, Chris_PWC, TikTok and Instagram. Just go and message me. If you don't know where to start, that's where you go. That was step number one. Literally, like, you could just say, hey, listen to your podcast episode. What is this? Episode 34. I need help getting started. Like, you don't have to come with anything else. I'll ask you the questions and you can answer them. It's what I do as a coach. I just ask questions. So you don't have to figure out what questions you have to ask me. Just message me. Listen to episode 34 of Wild Nutrition Podcast. I need help. Cool. I'll be glad to help you. Then, if we're talking actual lifestyle integration, where it's sustainable, we're looking at March of next year. In 1 year, your life can be completely different. You'll be way happier, way more energy. Everything other than shitting rainbows can happen in 1 year. You just got to start now. Otherwise, then that moves to April, then that moves to May of next year, then that moves to June of next year, and you see where this goes. And that's the roller coaster of like, I have a New Year's resolution, which were, end of first quarter. So if you haven't started, here's your wake up call. I have a New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose this weight this year. Awesome. Congratulations. I want to get in shape this year. Awesome. Congratulations. Start now. If it's important to you, start now. It doesn't need to be perfect. But if it's actually important, make sure your actions reflect the results you want. Okay, I want to get in shape. I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to it. I can walk on a treadmill for 15 minutes a day. I want to get in shape, but I don't know what to do in the gym. I can go every day and walk for 30 minutes. And then I can learn what I should do in the gym. I don't know how to diet, but I do know that I probably should eat less stuff out of packages. I know I probably should eat more plants, more animal protein. Okay. Like, we can start super fucking simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Is it perfect? Nope. But when you have a timeline of 1 year, you don't have to start out perfect, because the first 12 weeks, it's probably not going to be perfect. Then you'll get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And that's where you'll pass. If you start now, you'll pass that person who's waiting for the perfect time or the perfect program. Or when I have all the information in front of me, you'll never have enough information in front of you to actually get started. You know how you get all the information in front of you? You fucking start, and then you realize what's bullshit, what's not needed and a distraction, and what's actually important to you now. Like, if you don't know how to track macros or what a portion size is, like, buy a food scale. Don't even worry about macros. Just start weighing your shit and look at like, what is like a portion of like chicken, like 4-ish ounces. Okay, what does that look like? Like, that's where you start. What is, a portion of pasta? It's in grams on the back. It's 2 ounces of dry pasta. What is that? You weigh it. Like, that's where you start. You don't need to start with like all the information of how to track macros perfectly and the perfect meal plan and perfect recipes for the entire fucking week. No, I don't even fucking do that. You just start, and then you figure it out along the way. All right, we're way over time, and I have other shit to do today. So, happy fucking Friday, everyone. Enjoy the weekend and go kill it out there.